Hello everybody, my name is Attila Mate from Blue Sky Photography, and today we arrived in the best budget gear series to the cameras. And now here I would like to mention something at the beginning, that the best budget cameras I will actually separate in two different videos, because I think that you can't really find, a camera which one is also good for photography and for video, and it is also cheap enough. So you have to make a compromise, here or there. So this first video, it will be about the best budget camera for photography. So this is the best budget photo camera that you can find at the moment. Now here we will talk about a few cameras, like 4 or 5 cameras, and I would like to mention at the beginning that it's has nothing to do with any brand. It has nothing to do with Nikon or Canon or Sony or whatever brand. What is important, the image quality to be excellent, and the price should be okay. So I will say that in my opinion, what is the disadvantage and what is the advantage with every camera. So let's jump into it and let's see, because otherwise this video will be too long. So the first camera I will talk about is the Nikon D70-100. Now this camera is a 24.1 megapixel camera, APS-C size sensor, and has no optical low pass filter. And guys, this is very, very important. Image quality, optical low pass filter, it destroys the image quality. It's on a certain degree, obviously. So it has a negative effect, let's say like that, on the image quality. But Nikon D70-100 doesn't have low pass filter. So advantages of this camera is that it's a 24 megapixel sensor, has no low pass filter, has dual SD card slot. The autofocus is good, is not excellent, but it's good. And disadvantages is that has no tilt screen, and it's not really great on low light. It's okay, it's not bad, but it's not really great on low light. So these are the disadvantages of the Nikon D70-100. The price is $696 at BH Photo. All the prices are from the BH Photo video from the US. So you can check the prices. Body only price €696. I think that this camera is capable for a lot. And this is one of the best build cameras from Nikon. And I tell you, this is a very good deal. €696 and dollar, and it's I cannot say anything bad about this. So the second camera is the big brother, let's say, of the Nikon D70-100, and that is the Nikon D70-200. Now this is roughly the same, 24 megapixel sensor, no anti-aliasing filter, dual SD card slot, magnesium alloy body, all these kind of things. The autofocus is a little bit better than on the 70-100, but the difference is not big. And it's a good autofocus, even for tracking, it's excellent. I use the Nikon D70-200 since a long time, I don't know, 2 years or something now. But it's great. The autofocus is excellent, except video, because we are not talking about video over here. I don't want to keep it too long. So a Nikon D70-200 is $996. So it's a little bit expensive than the 70-100. But it has some extra specifications in there which are very good, and you have to see all the specifications. You have to compare them. It's too long. It will be too long for me to explain over here. But Nikon D70-200 has something extra. If you use strictly only for photography, and you don't do time lapse, you don't do all kind of focus, picture stacking on each other and these kind of things, then the 70-100 is okay. If you want all this extra, you need the 70-200. So this is $996 at BH Photo. The third camera is the Pentax K-3 Mark II. Now, I have to tell you that this camera is 99.9% is the same like the Nikon D70-200. 24 megapixel APS-C size sensor, no anti-aliasing filter. It's great. The autofocus is not the same. So if you are looking for a fast focusing camera, the Pentax is not for you. And not only the K3, I would say that Pentax is not famous about producing fast focusing cameras, but the camera is great. The camera is excellent, and it can do some things that you are blown away, I tell you. Like the K3, you know, it has a complete weather sealed magnesium alloy body, dual SD card slot. All these kind of things, you know, they are the same like on the 7200, you know, and it's just a very well built camera. I would say that it's the best built camera in the APS-C. You know, it's, I mean, weather and dust resistance and these kind of situations, you know, Pentax is the best. You know, if you are going out a lot and in rain and in that environment, you know, then Pentax it will be great for you. So on the other hand, again, Pentax has some things, you know, in the camera which Nikon doesn't have. The example, it has no anti-aliasing filter, but it has a simulator where you can simulate the anti-aliasing filter. If you have moire effect or something badly and you want to resolve that, you can simulate the anti-aliasing filter. But I wouldn't say that you will end up in so many times in such a situation there where you have to apply that, but it might happen. So the Pentax K-3 Mark II is the third camera that I would recommend. The price is $896 in US. So in Europe it will be roughly the same, a little bit expensive maybe. On eBay maybe you can find even cheaper than this. Maybe these prices are brand new body only from the B&H Photo Video. Again, about the K3 Mark II, I don't want to talk because it will be the video too long. You know, it has a lot of extras, you know, like the example, it has its pixel shift resolution is the name of the mode, how you can shoot the picture, and what it does, you know, it makes 4 pictures and then it will blend it together. So you will get a one full raw file with details, you know, and it's a rich in details file. You know, it's actually, they say that it's close to a medium format picture, you know. So pixel shift resolution. Now again, if you are a wildlife photographer and if you are mostly not wildlife, sorry, landscape photographer, then the pixel shift resolution will be okay for you. But if it's something moving in the subject, you know, it wasn't really good. Now in the K1 they said they repaired that. So let's go further, you know, and don't keep too much here. Yeah, again, what this camera has near the pixel shift resolution is incorporated lens stabilization, you know, in the the sensor is stabilized. So image stabilization, and that is very good. Pentax is good in image stabilization, and they introduce in every single camera they make. So every Pentax camera will have image stabilization on the sensor. So the next camera we will talk about is the Pentax K-1, and this is the only full frame camera that I introduced here in the best budget cameras, because this full frame camera, it's actually worth looking at, because it's a 36 megapixel full frame sensor, no anti-aliasing filter, again, magnesium alloy body, and like I said, with the Pentax the autofocus is not really great. I mean, it's okay, and if you are slow moving subjects, you can track, it's no problem. But if you have something fast, you know, moving subjects, then this camera is not for you. But again, here in the K1, you know, it's a pixel shift resolution. They say that they repaired, you know, the issue with the moving things in the. So if with the K3 Mark II, if something was moving in the picture, then you had some issues. But they say with the K1, it's repaired. So this camera is $1,946, and that's a very good price for a full frame 36.4 megapixel camera. I mean, that's really good. And I think that it's worth. If you want on full frame, there you go. Now the disadvantages of the Pentax cameras, both on the K3 Mark II and the K1, is the lenses. So you will not have as big selection as lenses like in the Canon or Nikon or even the Sony lineup. Sony has a little bit, you know, on the alpha lineup, but on the E mount, on the alpha mount, sorry, on the E mount they don't really have a lot of lenses. On the alpha mount they will have some lenses. So the Pentax camera will. This is the disadvantage you will get, you know, with the Pentaxes. But if you are happy with those lenses you can get, you know, from Sigma, from Tamron, from Pentax, then you are fine. Cameras are well built, excellent, and at this price, at $1,950, I tell you, it's unbeatable. I mean, this camera, it can produce excellent images. So the next camera is the Canon 80D. Now, here's the first camera which doesn't have dual SD card slot, and I introduced over here from Canon. This is a 24 megapixel APS-C size sensor again, and $1,199. It's a little bit pricey, yes, comparing with the Nikon D7200 and the Nikon D7100, it's a little bit pricey, but I would say that the autofocus of this camera is just brilliant. I mean, if you want fast focusing camera, then this is the one for you to go, obviously. I would say between all of these cameras, the Canon 80D is the best in autofocusing. That's without any question. So that's what you, Canon, again, lenses you will have plenty, hundreds of lenses. That's not an issue at all. The only disadvantage I would see in this camera is the dual SD card slot. You don't have that. So if you can deal with that problem, you know, if you accept that, it's completely fine. And it's a little bit expensive. That's again, so it's there is a price difference in it, comparing with the 7100, the Nikon D7100. So that was the fourth camera, and now the fifth camera is the Sony A6000 mirrorless. Now I used to have this camera for a long while, and this is an excellent camera. I love it. It's small for form factor, you know, and it's 24 megapixel APS-C size sensor, and it has everything what you need. Pretty good autofocus, you know, tracking is not as good as on the Canon 80D or Nikon D7200, but it's good enough. I mean, if you have something fast moving subjects like wildlife, bird, these kind of things, then I don't think it will be good for you. But on the other hand, it has a good frame rate, like 11 frames per second, you know, it's excellent. But other than that, what you have to deal with the Sony A6000 is the lens selection. Lens selection is very, very, very bad. It's poor. I mean, you can get some good prime lenses on good price, you know, but when you want zooms, you know, then you get in trouble. You cannot really find fast zoom lenses on affordable prices, unfortunately. The example, the 70 to 200 range, you know, you can buy only the G Master lens, which is like 2,500 euro, you know, and you cannot buy any third-party lenses like Tamron or Sigma, or they don't produce. So if you deal with that, if you can deal with that, if you accept this, you know, and you shoot only primes or something, Sony A6000 is an excellent choice. And it's only $478. It's a great price. Great camera with a great price. So this is the first and the last mirrorless, because again, I introduced Sony A6000 only because it's only 478 euro, and it doesn't have dual SD card slot, and for me that's a deal breaker, but maybe for you it's not. So these are the cameras I would suggest, I would say you can choose from. The image quality wise, each and every camera is excellent. You won't be disappointed. Each and every camera you buy, you won't be disappointed. Like I told you, you have to decide what do you need the camera for. If you need for sports, wildlife, or if you need for landscape, or if you need for portraits. If you need for portraits, I would suggest between all of these the Pentax K-1. Because the Pentax K-1 you can buy some excellent Sigma art lenses, prime lenses, like the 35mm f1.4 or the 50mm f1.4 or the 85mm f1.4, or you can buy some great prime lenses again from Samyang, manual primes, which are great, really great lenses. And on this camera body for portraits, it will be just amazing with the full frame sensor. It's just amazing. So you have to decide what type of photography are you doing, and then you can choose from these cameras. But I will tell you from now on that if you buy these cameras, if you choose wisely, you will love it. But you have to, each and every camera has advantages and disadvantages. You have to know the advantages and the disadvantages. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys, and I hope that you liked it. I just wanted to help you out with some possibilities, and in my opinion, that these cameras, they are excellent cameras, all of them, and they have their disadvantages and their advantages, but if you are ready to accept that, then you will be fine. So I see you in the next video, and take care, guys.